On January 9th, 2008, the United States EPA issued a final rule known as 40 CFR Part 63 Subpart HH HH, and that's for the National Emission Standards for Hazardous Air Pollutants. And this is for the paint stripping and miscellaneous surface coatings operations at area sources. Basically, this rule is intended to reduce the emissions of certain heavy metal hazardous air pollutants. Some of these are chromium, lead, manganese, nickel, and cadmium. In order to reduce these emissions, the rules for the requirements are basically to get control of technologies for training and record keeping, certification, and compliance. And that was from the EPA National Area Source Rule booklet. As part of the national rule, painters and body shops are required to go through both hands-on and classroom training as follows. And this is from the EPA Training Certification website. That the painters must document their hands-on and classroom training. They have to show that they had either in-house or other training done, the date, the agenda of the training, some handouts from the course, and a certificate that they received. The training that painters have to go through, it's 4 groups basically. It has to do with the paint gun, equipment selection such as HVLP, which is high volume, low pressure guns. You have to learn how to operate those correctly as far as for measuring your paint viscosity and your proper setup on your paint guns. You also have to get trained for spray technique, learn what kind of coatings you're spraying, what kind of efficiencies that they have. You have to also get trained on routine spray booth maintenance and your filter selection, and basically show them that you know how to put the filters in and how to maintain those. And then also you have to keep on hand your environmental compliance sheet that shows that you've had all of this training. So what is paint? Paint it's a liquid material, and it's designed to be applied to different surfaces that'll dry into a solid film and add beauty and protection for years to come. So what all goes into paint? Well, there's 4 basic ingredients in paint. Pigments is the first one. Basically those are finely ground powders. Some are naturally occurring, like minerals. Others are synthetically produced. And basically what you get from pigments is the colors of your paint, any kind of special effects like metallic or pearls. You also get opacity, which is the coverage or the hiding power of your paint, different filling properties, the adhesion of it, the different corrosion resistance. The second thing that goes into it is called resin, and resin is basically the main component. It's kind of the backbone of the paint. You get your film forming from that. It helps to bind the pigments together. You get your gloss from there, your adhesion. The next thing is additives, and basically you put small amounts of these in, and it helps to improve certain characteristics of your paint. certain things like UV protections in there. It helps with durability, different flow additives with leveling. The newer paint, the waterborne stuff, which I'll touch on here in a minute, has anti-settle technology in it, which means like the pigments won't settle to the bottom. The other things you can put in, such as catalysts, plasticizers, flex agents, that sort of thing. And the last thing that you put in as part of paint is solvent or thinner, and basically that just kind of does what it says. It reduces the viscosity, changes the speed for the flash or the dry. So basically with the new and more stringent EPA regulations that they have today is kind of the main force, getting shops to switch over to waterborne paint technology. And basically what waterborne paint technology is, it incorporates latex particles, kind of like your house paint. And what that does is it changes the resistance and chemicals in there. The latex core is it dissolves outwardly to an outer shell, and that kind of has thread-like fingers. These fingers are used for attaching, and that grabs onto whatever it touches, and that kind of turns it into a gel. This is how the paint binds together. The pigment in this newer waterborne paint does not settle out to the bottom of the can, like I had said earlier. Basically, all you have to do with this to liquefy the gel is you just give the container a simple shake by hand for just a few seconds, and because of this anti-settle technology, stirring is no longer required. And that's from the EnviroBase HP product info website. As the water evaporates, these latex particles form and basically bind together, and it's very durable, it's chemically resistant, and it is very good at matching the factory finish. So the difference between solvents and water, kind of to wind things up here, reducers are a blend of 3 different solvents. You got front end, middle, tail end solvents. If you pick the wrong one, you could screw up your color match. You could have issues with getting the paint from your gun to the panel. With the waterborne, you only have one, and that's water, and it evaporates at the same rate with proper airflow. The waterborne paint systems usually achieve hiding with about half of the film material with base coat. So basically, in conclusion, the waterborne systems are environmentally friendly, whereas the solvent-based systems are not.